my name is Rachel, and today I'm going to be giving you a presentation on the pros and cons of starting up your own fast casual sandwich shop, whether it be starting your own from scratch or purchasing a franchise. So we're going to go through the pros and cons of both purchasing a franchise and starting up your own, as well as the competitors that you may run into in this industry. So to start off with, I'll go over our three main competitors. One being Jersey Mike's. They're a sandwich shop chain franchise throughout the United States, several hundred locations across the United States, as well as Subway, a very well-known sandwich chain franchise as well throughout the United States. And the third being which isn't as popular as Jersey Mike's or Subway, at least here in California, but they also do have locations all over the United States. So moving on, we're going to start with the pros of starting from scratch. So one of the main things that people complain about in their job is their bosses. So a pro of starting your own business, starting from scratch, would be having your own control of your destiny, such as being your boss. So controlling your destiny means how many hours you work, how much money you're going to make, how successful you're going to be, because you are in control of the entire business and you control what happens to yourself. Another pro is you create your own wealth, and this kind of ties into the first idea of controlling your own destiny. So however many hours you put in, however much work you put in is going to then create, in the long run, your wealth. It's going to build up your wealth, and the time you put in now, you'll see that in the future with your success in money and success in your business, and being prideful and knowing that you built that from scratch. And the third pro of starting from scratch is job security. Although this may not seem like a pro, but if you have the right strategy, are working hard for your goals, you are sure to have a job in your own business for the rest of the time you own the business. If you're not working hard for your business, you may not have job security because you may not have a business for very much longer. So that can be a pro and a con, but job security in this instance is a pro of starting your own sandwich shop from scratch. And moving on, we're going to talk about the cons of starting from scratch. So one con disadvantage that people immediately think of is the financial risks that can come into play during this. So you don't know if your business is going to be successful. You don't know if people are going to like your product, or in this circumstance, your sandwiches or your food. So it is a very big risk financially to start your own business from scratch because there's no guarantee that you're going to be successful. Another con is being your own boss, which was a pro, can turn into a con because you are working very long hours, you are stressed out, you're trying to meet your goals, meet your deadlines, and that means you put in a lot of hours. So it's not a 9-to-5 job. A lot of research shows that small business owners work twice as long each week than the normal working American that works a 9-to-5 job. So that is definitely a con. And then the last con of starting from scratch is going to be finding the right employees. So once you've got your business running off the ground, you're starting to open up the sandwich shop, you're going to need some employees. And this can be difficult when running a small business because you want to find the person who fits in your shop as what you want them to represent. You want to find the right person that fits your company values, your company morals, that projects that to your customers. So finding the right employee can be tricky, but in the long run, it can make or break your business. So here we have the first image up in the left-hand corner is a statement saying small businesses employ 57.9 million people in the United States, which if you think about that is a lot. And working for a small business can be great. There's a lot of pros to that. You are working for someone's dream in some instances, and you aren't stuck in a corporate world. So some people really do enjoy working for small businesses. And then the bottom image in the right hand corner is showing the failure rates of small businesses, just because the rate that businesses fail is pretty high for small businesses. So that's just a graph showing those statistics. Now we're going to continue on and move to franchises. So some pros of buying a franchise is going to be having pre-trained staff. There's going to be policies and procedures already put in place, as well as a pre-established business plan, which can be a big deal. So having a trained staff program can really help get your business off the ground, because like I said, finding the right employees can be difficult. Policies and procedures are already going to be in place. Corporate is going to have those set in stone, so that's not something you're going to have to worry about. But yeah, that could be an issue if there's a disagreement with the policies and procedures that the franchise and company already does have in place. And then, like I said, a pre-established business plan. A large corporation such as Subway, Jersey Mike's is already going to have a business plan put together, so all you really have to do is put forward the money and they give you the rest, and all the work is done for you. And that brings us to the cons of buying a franchise, which one major con is the high cost, because you are paying for the name brand of the company that you're franchising, such as Subway, Jersey Mike's, which Firehouse Subs. You're going to be paying a couple $1,000s just to start the franchise. That's not including anything else. That's just to buy the name to open your own franchise. Another con, like I said, can be the policies, because you can have disagreements on how you want your business to run, and if the company or corporation already has policies in place, there can be a bit of a conflict there. And the other con of buying a franchise is going to be how it's managed. If the people running the corporation from the top aren't managed correctly, that trickles down to the bottom, which would be you buying a franchise. So that can really mess with some people when it comes to a franchise and starting your own. So now we've come to our closing thoughts. So in this presentation, we covered the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages of buying a franchise and starting up your own sandwich shop from scratch. So obviously both of the options that we discussed are going to have their own challenges, own issues, but you as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a business man or woman, you need to make the right decision that is best for you and what you feel is going to be best financially and best in the long run, while thinking everything through and doing your research before making a decision. That is the biggest thing, doing your research, finding statistics, talking to people, figuring out your personality and what is going to work best for you. So that is the closing thoughts on the advantages and disadvantages of purchasing your own franchise or starting your own business from scratch.